What's up, y'all? It's your boy Trey, and we coming back with another episode of the 3829 podcast. I'm here with your boy Don once again, but I'm gonna let him holler at y'all run time.
What's going on, man? It's Odd One. Welcome back to the 3829 podcast. Y'all familiar with us by now, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Let's get into this episode, cuz.
Yo, the game plan every game. One pass possessions, get it off the rim. Because it ain't gonna be no X button, no A button. It is just gonna be shoot on that controller.
But what I'm like, I don't know what direction the Nets are trying to
No,
head to.
facts. I don't know. I think they just trying to be the Nets at this point, bro. Listen, this man ain't beating them allegations, bro. He ain't beating them. You know what? Since we know that they is back gambling, though, it is somebody that we knew to investigate.
I'm not sure how this plays out for the Lakers.
No,
Whether
exactly.
you want to rely on LeBron or continue to try and build your future around Luka.
And you know what? I'll give it to you. You have been the best player in the world. But
Definitely.
you've only won 4 out of 10. All right, so to go ahead and get started, man, we had decent trade that just happened recently. We had Michael Porter Jr. get sent to the Nets and Cam Johnson get sent to the Nuggets. We'll go ahead and start off with the Nuggets side of it. So, one, I think that it was a good move for them to go ahead and, move on from Michael Porter Jr. I think that we've seen the best of what he could do on the Nuggets. Not saying that that's the best that he could do in his career, but I think that we've seen his best years at the Nuggets already. So I think it is time to go ahead and try to move on from him and to get a guy like Cam Johnson who has, still been showing steady increases each year. I think that is a great pickup for them. What's your take on it, cuz?
Definitely. I totally agree with that. Like you said, Michael Porter Jr.'s years with the Nuggets, it's pretty much come to a conclusion. He got got a championship there, was able to contribute to that. But these past couple years, ever since that championship run with that team, it's kind of looks like it's kind of been downhill for him, at least with the Nuggets. Like you said, as far as his career goes, wish him the best and hope he gets back on a uprise with that. And then as far as Cam Johnson goes, I definitely think that was a good pickup for the Nuggets, because like you said, again, starting off in Phoenix, and then getting traded to the Nets, he's shown nothing but progression in my personal opinion, and I feel like he deserves to showcase it on a higher level. And being joining Jokic and a team like the Nuggets and the other players that surround that team, I feel like he will definitely do good on there. Not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. He's definitely a good all around fit for the Nuggets. So I like that pickup for them.
No, 100%. And then on the other side, the Nets. So the Nets picking up Michael Porter Jr. The Nets also received a first round pick in exchange. It is, I believe, after the year 2030. I believe it's a 2032 first round pick, and I do believe it's unprotected as well. Now, as far as the actual pickup in Michael Porter Jr., I think that he will have the opportunity to flourish in with the Nets. I think
Oh
that
yeah, he's gonna have a lot of opportunity.
yeah, he gonna have a lot of opportunity to flourish out there with the Nets.
Plenty.
But yeah, I think him and Cam Johnson, they're gonna be the first sub
Cam
88
Thomas.
overall duo to both average over 30. Because it ain't gonna be no X button, no A button. It is just gonna be shoot on that controller. I mean, they gonna have one pass possessions. And that
Yeah,
is the
with him and
inbound
yeah.
pass. That is the inbound pass.
Say if you wanna get a shot, you gotta earn it. Get in there and get you a rebound.
Listen, for real, the game plan every game, one pass possessions, get it off the rim. Them is the two them is the two coaching points every game, yo. We
Box
thought,
out.
hey, listen, we thought the Rockets back in 2018, 2019 was bad with the threes, bro.
with,
We ain't seen
with James
nothing,
Harden.
bro. We ain't seen nothing, bro. The
Oh man,
isolation play is finna be ridiculous.
crazy.
Hey,
That's
nah,
gonna go insane.
nah, that's crazy right there. But nah,
I don't
transitioning.
know what I don't know what direction the Nets are trying to
No,
head to.
facts. I don't know. I think they just trying to be the Nets at this point, bro. What else do you expect?
It's just Brooklyn.
Nah, facts. But since we was talking about Michael Porter Jr., we could talk about his cousin, Jonte Porter Jr. And if y'all don't know who I'm talking about, Jonte Porter Jr. is what we were referring to Malik Beasley as for
AKA.
You
Malik
know,
Beasley.
no facts. This man is out here proving T Bitty right. I mean B Titty right. My bad. No disrespect. This man is out here proving B Titty right because the NBA definitely stands for niggas betting again.
Niggas betting again.
Listen, this man ain't beating them allegations, bro. He ain't beating them. I done seen a clip of this
Too
man,
much
9
evidence.
seconds on the clock, down by 9 points. Or no, I think it's 5 seconds on the clock, which don't make it no better. 5 seconds on the clock, down by 9. This man runs a 3 flat 40. I'm talking about this man. This man was breaking records to get his money. He was playing no games. This man ran a 3 flat 40 to go get him a layup that impacted 0% of the game.
Nothing.
I mean,
Chance of winning the game.
It didn't change nothing.
I mean, zero chance of winning.
It didn't even make the score look better. Like, bro, you went from 9 to 7. It don't look no better, bro. What?
And then that's another clip where you can definitely tell he had Haliburton. He took the over on points for Haliburton. This man was at a standstill.
Listen.
Let him blow right past him. Straight to the bucket.
My bad, coach. He froze me. You ain't see that move? I ain't know what to do.
I glitched up.
Nah, facts. He hit me with that headsy. I just said.
Froze. I couldn't go nowhere. I
Didn't know what to do.
That's something like they say this is stem back from the 2023-24 season when he was on the Bucks, but like you mentioned, even before when he was on the Timberwolves.
They would talk about that with the Timberwolves, boy. Listen,
and then even this past season with the Pistons.
He don't need to go back to Detroit. He do not need to go back to Detroit because they gonna hurt him. Because this man played hot potato with their season, bro, to guarantee his money.
From Detroit, from where Detroit came from where they came from, the past few seasons, for them to end up in the playoffs and for them to get sold like that, this man had a wide open 3, dog. And gamble at your own risk, but I can't tell you how many times I took this man for 2 threes on my parlay.
You know what? Since we know that they is back gambling, though, it is somebody that we knew to investigate.
Who is that?
Obi Toppin, because ain't no way you get 20 turnovers a game. Bro, I need to investigate that, bro.
This man literally handed OKC the ball.
It was before OKC, bro. It was New York.
We made it past that, so Obi, yeah.
Bro, I thought that man was still signed to New York, how bad this man was playing, bro. I'm like, he's with them. Finals,
and this man's just handing the ball over. I'm like, bro, we competing for the NBA championship, right?
Hey,
you know that, Obi.
Hey, listen.
And you just gifting them the ball, like, take this, and then take the trophy while you at it.
Yeah, bro. We need to save this clip because if Obi gets investigated, I called it, bro. I called it.
He said I called that one.
I called that one, bro. Because ain't no way. Man. Ain't no way. You ain't even a point guard. How are you averaging 10 turnovers, bro? Like, you ain't even supposed to have the ball that much to turn it over that much, bro.
Bruh. Like, get off the ball.
Exactly,
Where's the point? Where's Tyrese? Where's Andrew?
Exactly,
where's TJ?
Bro. Exactly.
Get the ball out of Obi's hands.
Put that man at the end of the bench.
Man.
He needed to be on the injury reserve list for personal reasons because he was going through something. That man was going through something.
Personal.
Facts.
Say PTO. He definitely needs personal time off.
Nah, that man, I don't know what he was doing. But transition from these men just gambling people's seasons away. Colin Sexton goes to the Hornets, man. Not only him,
what's your take on that?
Well, it wasn't just Colin Sexton. Also Spencer Dinwiddie ended up going to the Hornets as well. Now the Colin Sexton one, I think that's a a decent pickup for them. As far as Colin Sexton goes. I feel like he's still younger. Definitely has something that he could bring to that team, and I feel like he could fit the vibe. I feel like he'll actually bring them more of a I feel like Charlotte plays too cool, too laid back currently, and I feel like Colin Sexton, he's a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's a dog.
I feel like he'll definitely bring a more like structured like atmosphere to that environment, to that Hornets environment. He's definitely who knows how they work their lineup over there, whether he starts or if he ends up being a good backup for Melo. Either way, like you said, Colin Sexton, he's a dog, man. This past season he averaged 18, 4, and 3. So you got a point guard putting up numbers like that, he definitely can be a good fit and be a good contribution to that team over there. Now, as
Yeah.
far as Spencer Dinwiddie goes, man, I didn't even know that the Mavericks didn't bother re-signing him, man. Like,
Yeah,
what's
that
going on over there?
that one doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. I feel like Spencer Dinwiddie is a guy that you pick up when you try to make a push. I'm not saying that Spencer Dinwiddie is the guy to get you over the hump necessarily, or he's gonna be
Mhm.
your Finals MVP. Not at all. But I feel like Spencer Dinwiddie is one of those role guys that is consistently on a team like the Mavericks, is consistently on a team like the Nets when they were trying to make that push, is
The
consistently on the
Lakers,
Lakers, teams like that. You don't see
yeah,
him very often on a team like the Hornets that
the
don't really
Wizards,
have championship aspirations. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
or like you said, that are like yeah, like trying to make a push towards something. Because
Exactly.
he's worked his way up in this league, and he's one of your more like so to say like veteran guards. So
Hmm.
like you said, I totally agree with that. Like he's a piece that you add when you're trying to make a push towards something. And obviously Charlotte hasn't been in that position for quite some time now.
No,
So
seriously.
yeah, I definitely didn't understand that, but
But
definitely
I
wish
do
my
think
man's the best in Charlotte.
no, definitely. But I do think the way I see it going is I see Colin Sexton actually starting for them and Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench. It just that just makes sense to me. I don't see why you try to start Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't really feel like he fits the culture, especially not the culture of their starting lineup. Their
Mhm.
starting lineup is pretty laid back, pretty, and I feel like not pretty laid back, but they're pretty, they're the vibe of their I don't even
Yeah,
know
like
I'm
you
trying to
said,
waste my time trying to explain it.
it's a
You
younger
got
core.
exactly versus
And like I
Spencer
said, he's
Dinwiddie,
a
he's
more
more
veteran. Yeah,
protocol guy. He's a more
Mhm.
business protocol type of guy. So I see Colin
Exactly.
Sexton, fitting in there with, they're gonna have a backcourt of LaMelo, Colin Sexton. Then you see, Brandon Miller filling that three spot. And then you're looking at
That was my question when it comes to that. When you have Melo and Colin Sexton in the backcourt, if that's how they play it, who do you start where when it comes to
um
that?
I'm I'm definitely keeping LaMelo as the point guard. I mean, he's still I feel like if you move him away from the point guard and try to put him at two, it's almost kind of saying like we're not really trusting you as our franchise guy anymore. You get what I'm saying? Because that's almost like taking the ball out of his hands somewhat. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, I
Now,
agree.
obviously we play
I just wanted to
positionless.
take on that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we play positionless pretty much nowadays. Now it's not really positionless,
Yeah,
it's positions,
it's
but it's less structured as far as positions are
yeah,
nowadays. And a two guard can bring it up just as much as a one guard can. But
exactly.
as far
So
as
you got center, you got Cat, you got Jokic, you got
no, exactly,
you got bigs
Giannis,
bringing it up the floor nowadays.
exactly,
Oh my goodness.
exactly. But yeah, I see it going like LaMelo's still gonna stay the point, and then Colin Sexton is gonna be the two. I feel like, and then Colin Sexton, I feel like he would be a good two. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because Colin Sexton, I see him. No, I don't. Well, nobody take no type of offense to this. I see him like a prime Dion Waiters. You know what I'm saying? It's not somebody that's gonna
mm,
kill you from the three, but is gonna be able to,
mm,
get to the bucket on you, get to the other
yeah.
spots on the floor out that are not the 3 point line. You get what I'm saying? He's able to give you points, but he's not gonna hit 5 threes in a game most nights. Let me not say that
And
because
that's what I
when
like
I
about him.
said, yeah, when I say somebody ain't gonna hit too many threes, they end up smacking threes all year long. You feel like Lou Dort,
Lou Dort.
no, for real. Lou Dort. Yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm
Oh my
done talking about
goodness.
people.
But no, I definitely agree though. Like you said, he can give you one or two threes a game, but he's definitely gonna, like you said, he got that dog in him, and that's one thing I've liked about Sexton ever since him entering the league is his style of play and the way he gets to the bucket and draw. He's not scared to draw a foul, get to the free throw line. Like you said, that's my style of play right there. So I definitely like that about him.
No, 100%. But we can go ahead and transition from the Hornets. One pickup that the Pistons did get to, try to replace Jonte Porter Jr. was Karis LeVert. They got Karis LeVert, and I see Karis LeVert being
Okay.
basically what Tim Hardaway Jr. and kind of Malik Beasley, kind of what both of them were supposed to be for the Pistons last year. Now, obviously, he's not going to fill the role of both of those guys just being himself, but I feel like he's kind of a blend of what the Pistons expected from both of those guys. I feel like Tim Hardaway Jr., I wouldn't say that he took a step back last year. I just don't think that he necessarily fit in their offense last year. I feel like the way that the Pistons play is not, his necessarily wasn't, it may not been that he didn't fit in the offense, but maybe it was more so that they just weren't running as many plays for him and they wasn't looking for him for as much scoring as, the Mavericks were previously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would say I kind of second that. But I think too much of the Pistons offense evolved or basically had players like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley just kind of like standing around posting up around the perimeter and basically
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the outside versus a player like Karis LeVert. He can give you a few threes a game as well, but he's going to get inside and put up some middies as well. So I think that's where those two kind of separate and why, like you said, a player like Karis LeVert will be a better fit versus like a Tim Hardaway Jr. or Malik Beasley, like you
No,
said.
exactly.
And who knows why that was? Like you said, they probably just didn't have the offense to like
Mm-hmm.
fit those players. But definitely interested to see how Karis LeVert plays out in Detroit.
Yeah, and just one thing I wanted to add on this is one thing I feel like Karis LeVert can add that those guys don't do as much is his ability to put the ball on the floor and actually create for himself. I feel like he can do that
Exactly.
definitely better than Malik Beasley can and better than
For
Tim
sure.
Hardaway can as well, which allows the offense not to be as dependent on K. You get what I'm saying? So those
Hmm.
guys kind of have to shy out and sit on the three when K he can pretty much do anything on the court. He has a pretty consistent jumper when he needs it to be. He
Yeah.
We know he can get to the rim and attack, and we know he can use the mid range as well. So when you're playing like that and you aren't able to create for yourself, you kind of are at his will. Okay, what is he doing on the floor? Okay, how can I play off of him? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that'll kind of like take some pressure off of him and take eyes off of him. That way he can kind of move around as he needs to and kind of get move off some screens or so forth and so on. Just overall take, like you said, somebody else is able to put the ball on the floor and contribute
No,
on the
exactly.
offense as well.
Exactly. Now, before we get out of here, man, we gotta talk about all this Laker drama, man. Last topic of the day for this episode, man. But we gotta talk about this, man. First of all,
Man,
LeBron signs his extension with the Lakers, $50 million. We already
takes
talked
his player
about.
option.
We already talked about. We've already discussed this before on the podcast. We were both very clear on how we felt about him accepting that. We said that he shouldn't. We said that he should give his team the best opportunity to continue to try to win. And honestly, LeBron at 40 years old, if you're not still playing to win, then what are you playing for? You get what I'm saying? I feel like he definitely could have, declined it, accepted for a little bit less, like a guy like
Mhm.
uh Kyrie Irving did. It wasn't major amount less. You get what I'm saying? Kyrie's was more so for
Or even
longevity.
if I'm not mistaken, like a Jalen Brunson.
Well, yeah. Jalen Brunson took a major cut, but I'm not saying take a cut like that. And then
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is about to get paid. He is about to be making 40 million off this next one.
Oh
But
yeah.
but I feel like LeBron, instead of taking a 50, he definitely could have took a 40. Allow his team to get a little bit more assets around him. When you shown that last season, towards the end of the season, you were getting a little bit worn, you were getting tired. So
Yeah.
considering that, why don't you get yourself more resources so you can rest a little bit more throughout the season? And it's not, oh, LeBron's load managing. That doesn't have to be the story. It's just, oh, LeBron has enough help where he doesn't have to do
Yeah,
all of this. You get what I'm
playing
saying?
playing smart.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
following LeBron's extension, then we had rumors of, you know, a possibility of LeBron being traded away from the Lakers. And then
Hmm.
not long after those rumors got started, we got a report that there was no market for LeBron. Cleveland didn't want him, you
Yeah.
know, which makes
They made
complete
it. They made it
sense.
clear they're not interested in LeBron.
Exactly, which makes complete sense because as we spoke on with Kevin Durant, LeBron's even older than Kevin Durant. He's 40 years old, gonna be 40 plus at the time of the you know contract is
That's,
completely up, and he's making
mhm.
$50 million. You get what I'm saying? And it's only 1 year. So are you really willing to give up your future for 1 year of LeBron? Yes, the Rockets have admitted that they're willing to take the chance and give up, you know, Jalen Green and the pieces that they gave up for Kevin Durant potentially just 1 year. Now, they're hoping
Mhm.
that he resigns. They're hoping he comes back, but that's not a guarantee. They haven't played a single game. They don't know how KD is gonna feel about actually playing with these guys. Yeah, he
Mhm.
listen, before Kyrie and KD and Harden stepped on the court, it was paradise. Once they got there, it was trouble in paradise. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what LeBron. I mean, I know I gave my opinion on it. One of our last episodes, one of our recent episodes, as far as him, I'm not sure if he wants to compete for a championship or not. Which his agent, Rich Paul, came out and stated that he is wanting to compete for a championship. So I'm not sure how this plays out for the Lakers.
No,
Whether
exactly.
you want to rely on LeBron or continue to try and build your future around Luka and so forth and so on.
Well, yeah, they all have also made that comment. You know, I've seen multiple sources saying that going forward, the Lakers are not really looking to, you know, push and you know look to build around LeBron, but more so look to build around Luka, which again is something I agree with. LeBron is 40 years
Exactly.
old and only has one more year of his deal. And if LeBron shows that he's not willing to take a cut of just 10 million when he has a $1 billion contract off the court, then like what are we really doing? Like I get it. Yes,
Exactly.
LeBron, you're quote unquote you've been the best player in the world for how long? But at the end of the day, being the best player in the world and you know, being the greatest of all time, actually being a good teammate, you know, actually being a
Hmm.
good leader, those are two different people. Those are two different things. You get what I'm saying? You can be the
Yeah,
best player in the world, and you know what? I'll give it to you. You have been the best player in the world, but
definitely.
you've only won 4 out of 10. So being the best player in the world clearly ain't enough.
And then, like I say, you're at an age like where, like you say, just like kind of like KD, but LeBron's a little older than KD. You're 40 years old, so it's obvious you don't have. I mean, you don't realistically you don't have much left in the tank. So, like for a team like Cleveland, like you said, I totally agree. I don't blame them for not showing any interest in LeBron because, for instance, they already have a good younger core over there, and try to build around Donovan Mitchell, players like Darius
Exactly.
Garland, you got Evan Mobley, and they were the top seed in the East this past year. Of course, obviously they didn't make it too far in the playoffs, got put out by our Indiana Pacers, but they're looking to continue to go with what they built around and not mess that up for LeBron. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
LeBron's LeBron at the end of the day, but like you said, your career is at the point where it's at. So not too many teams are going to want to try to take a chance on that. I don't think so.
No, 100%. And you have to be logical. You're not trading for 2018 LeBron that you lost when he went to LA. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He was able to literally best player in the world, put a
Hmm.
backpack on, but then he faced the best team in the world. You get what I'm saying? And LeBron, if you're playing for personal accolades, great. But I feel like organizations want to win championships, and that's why no team wants to touch him. I bet you if LeBron would have declined that extension, and took a pay cut of about 10 million, which would not
Yeah.
have hurt LeBron in any way. I guarantee you there would have been a market for LeBron.
He could have took a pay cut of 20 million.
Exactly. The reason that the Lakers are wanting to build around Luka going forward versus LeBron is, why am I paying you $50 million at 40 years old?
The age difference. That's literally it.
Exactly. You're not showing that you're willing to give nothing up for me, but you want me
At
to
all.
draft your son, do all of this, do all of that. You get what I'm saying? And Bronny's even came out and said it. My dad get traded, I'm probably not gonna have a job. So like
Yeah,
LeBron, like what?
teams are looking to build towards the future. We're not moving back. We're trying to go forward.
No, exactly. And I'll be honest, last season we heard a lot of, LeBron selfish for, getting Bronny drafted. I wouldn't say that LeBron is selfish for that necessarily, but what he's done this offseason has been selfish, except in that extension. That was selfish towards the team. Now we got these trade talks, which is selfish to his own son. You get what I'm saying? Now you putting your son's future in jeopardy when your career in the NBA is over, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you made it seem like you was doing all of this for your son, and now you putting all of that at risk just so you can have another year.
Yeah.
That's selfish, and I don't rock with that one.
Pool. Yeah, that pool is coming to an end.
No, seriously.
He's not gonna be able to follow behind you wherever you go.
Exactly.
if that's the case.
No, and regardless, bro, like, realistically, if he were to get traded to Cleveland, it's not like he was gonna be the missing piece. You know why? Because the Lakers, look, Pelinka done show he know how to get a trade done. Okay, he done showed he gonna get a trade done. So he's coming for he's coming for minimum Jared Allen, minimum, which you don't want to give up for a 40-year-old LeBron. I'm sorry, you don't. He's too valuable to Cleveland at this point. Then next up is Darius Garland. If you can't get that Jared Allen to work, you get what I'm saying? You're definitely not trying to give that up either. So realistically, I understand why Cleveland says no. Exactly. I understand why Cleveland says no. And realistically,
I would understand if no team would show interest in LeBron.
Exactly. That's why no team is showing interest, because you're gonna want minimum. You're gonna want an all-star minimum on the cusp of an all-star for a 40-year-old. You get what I'm saying? So this is somebody that can continue to lead my franchise for, at least 3 to 4 years, minimum 3 to 4. And you giving me somebody that's one. You get what I'm saying?
I'm like, is LeBron playing till he's like 45?
Yeah, for real though. Like, realistically, you're getting maybe 3 years out of LeBron. But it's not LeBron leading your team. It's just LeBron on your team.
It's just his name is on the roster.
Exactly. LeBron's shown that he still can play effective, but he also shown that he's not able to still lead a team to the finals. We've seen that in round 1. He was tired.
Yep, he was burnt.
He was tired.
He was burnt. Even acquiring Luka.
He was happy to go after 5.
Yeah.
Happy to go after 5.
He said, I'll happily take my trip to Cancun.
No, for real. He said,
I'm tired, boss.
He said, you got that red already?
Good.
Nah, facts.
Fire out the jet.
But no, I think that building around Luka is the right way to go. I mean, Luka has shown that, he can get a team to the finals. I feel like that it was possible for them to get to the finals this year if, they did have a big, which they did go acquire one.
I was just ready to say. They just need to acquire a big man.
Yeah, which they did acquire one in DeAndre Ayton. And we know that Ayton can, play winning basketball on a championship team. Now, I think that the honest question is, does there become a market for LeBron which I don't think it changes unless the Lakers' expectations for him change, which I don't think that'll happen. And then the second one is, if there's not going to be a market for him and you can't trade him away, what can we genuinely expect for him for,
Going
next
into this
season
next season,
and into the playoffs? Because, it's not just, okay, what can he give us during the regular season, but what is LeBron going to be
right.
able to give us during the postseason as well?
But I think it's if he does, like you say, I don't think any team is going to show interest in LeBron this offseason. So I think he just lands his spot on the Lakers still. But I think it's going to be more so based around, like you say, LeBron doing his thing, LeBron and Luka doing their thing, of course. But as far as players like Austin Reeves, Rui, and then them acquiring DeAndre Ayton, definitely going to be a big piece for them if he plays like he did when his on that run that the Suns had, that
Hmm.
championship run that they had, or finals run that they had. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's gonna be based around those other role players to step up and fill that role and fill that void
Hmm.
for the Lakers to actually possibly make a run at it next season.
No, 100%.
Because like you say, LeBron, he's not at the like you say, he's not at the peak of his career. He's coming towards the ending of it, but he's still shown that he can contribute a lot on the floor. But he, like you say, when it did come playoff time, he shit first round, he was ready to go.
No, facts.
Because he pretty much had to give it his all season long. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's where those other players need to step it up and show that, all right, LeBron, he's getting up there. So we gotta do our part as well, and like overly.
Hmm. All right, y'all. That's going to do it for this episode of the 3829 podcast. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. Obviously, on the way out, make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. And I'm going to let Don go ahead and take us out.
Again, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the 3829 podcast. Like Cuz said, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man, so y'all can get a bell for that notifications every time we drop, man. Keep tuning in. We appreciate the love and support.